Hey everyone, welcome back to Auto Reviews, the channel where we break down the newest, wildest, and most intriguing machines in the automotive world. If you love future concepts, performance engineering, and everything on four wheels, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into something very special, something that isn't official, but has been generating huge noise across enthusiast communities. This is the 2026 Ford GT MK4 unofficial concept sedan. Yes, you heard that right, a sedan inspired by the legendary GT lineage. Let's get into what this idea represents, what kind of power we might imagine under the hood, the potential pricing, and why this unofficial concept is grabbing so much attention. The Ford GT has always been a purebred performance machine, starting with the iconic GT40 of the 1960s and continuing through the modern GT models that pushed aerodynamics, lightweight engineering, and racing technology to their limits. So when artists and car designers began imagining a four-door sedan built with GT DNA, it understandably raised eyebrows. How do you take something known for raw track-focused aggression and stretch it into a sedan without losing the soul? That's exactly the question that makes this unofficial concept so interesting. The 2026 Ford GT MK4 concept sedan is envisioned as a futuristic grand tourer mixed with hypercar styling. Sleek, low, and wide, the imagined design features an elongated body that still manages to keep the dramatic GT proportions. Think of a roofline that almost floats, sculpted side channels directing air straight into the rear power unit, and a front end that borrows heavily from the GT MK4 race variant. The lights are razor thin, using the latest micro-LED technology, while the grille area is almost non-existent, replaced by aerodynamic blades controlling airflow. Even though this is a sedan, everything about the design suggests speed, precision, and high-performance engineering. Now, since this is an unofficial concept, the engine details aren't confirmed by Ford, but enthusiasts and designers often build their ideas around realistic possibilities. So let's imagine what a 2026 GT-based performance sedan could actually use. The most likely candidate would be an evolution of Ford's EcoBoost technology. The GT MK2 used a twin-turbo 3.5-liter EcoBoost V6 pushing over 700 horsepower. For a sedan form, designers speculate a hybridized version of this engine, possibly a 3.5-liter or even a 3.0-liter twin-turbo V6 supported by a high-output electric motor on the rear axle. This setup could easily produce between 750 and 900 horsepower combined, especially with advancements in electric boosting and battery cooling. The transmission in an imagined concept like this would probably be a dual-clutch 8-speed, designed to handle the immense torque and provide lightning-quick shifts. And because this is a sedan, there's a good chance it would be all-wheel drive, giving it not only stability but also brutal acceleration. If Ford ever built something like this, we're talking 0 to 60 times possibly in the low 2-second range, maybe even flirting with the 2-flat mark depending on traction and battery discharge. That would put it in the same conversation as big electric performance sedans, but with the emotion and sound of a twin-turbo hybrid engine. Speaking of sound, one of the things that fans imagine about the GT MK4 sedan concept is a unique acoustic profile. Even with hybrid assistance, the twin-turbo V6 could roar with a high-pitched race-inspired growl, while the electric motors add instant torque. Imagine pulling away silently in EV mode through a neighborhood, then unleashing the full power on an open stretch of road as the engine kicks in with its signature Ford GT howl. This combination is part of what makes the concept so enticing. Now let's talk about the price. Since this is purely conceptual, nothing is official, but we can estimate based on what the GT models cost and what performance sedans go for today. The Ford GT road car was priced around $500,000 and sometimes much higher depending on edition. A sedan version, even unofficially imagined, would almost certainly be positioned as a halo car rather than a mass-market product. That puts the estimated price somewhere between $220,000 and $350,000. It would sit far above something like the Mustang GTD and closer to exotic four-door performance cars such as the Porsche Panamera Turbo e-Hybrid, the Mercedes-AMG GT63 SE Performance, or even the upcoming electric hyper sedans. Considering the heritage tied to the GT name, the price could swing even higher if carbon fiber architecture is used extensively. Inside this imagined concept, designers picture a mix of track-influenced minimalism and futuristic luxury. Think deep sculpted bucket seats, a floating digital cockpit with augmented reality overlays, and a center console that mimics the GT's race car-like simplicity. The materials would likely be carbon fiber, Alcantara, and machined aluminum, blending sport and sophistication. Even with 4 doors, this sedan would prioritize performance over pure family practicality, but it would still offer enough space for passengers to enjoy the ride. The big question, of course, is whether Ford would ever consider building something like this. The GT has always been exclusive, limited, and meant to be a statement piece. But the automotive world is shifting fast. Performance sedans are evolving, electrification is changing how power is delivered, and brands are experimenting with new body styles to keep legendary names alive. So while this 2026 GT MK4 sedan may remain an unofficial concept, the excitement around it shows how hungry enthusiasts are for innovation blended with heritage. Thanks for watching Auto Reviews. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2026 Ford GT MK4 unofficial concept sedan, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Let me know in the comments whether you think Ford should build something like this, or if the GT should remain a 2-door icon. I'll see you in the next video.